6 seconds. Punches back. Touchdown.
Monday Night Football, baby. Run Pure Sports got you with the Print Factory show today with Big T in the house getting ready. He's got his red hat on. Is that a Run Pure hat? Is that a red Run Pure hat?
Yep.
Oh, baby.
It's
that's
like
nice.
red on red, though. You can barely see it.
You can barely see it. Yeah, just a little bit. But
the only
I
one.
like that.
It was the only one they sent like that.
That's one of one?
I actually like it better backwards, though. So I don't like wearing it like this as much, just red on red. Yeah. I like the black tag thing.
I definitely like it backwards too.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know
it
how I feel about.
That's why I don't really wear it besides shows. I like the backwards on this.
Well, that's right. You got like 5,000 hats like all around your office, so you have plenty to pick from here. But we got some winners to pick. Big T, how was your Sunday? We got some time. How was your old Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I nailed a lot actually, but man, just the receivers, all the receivers it's the story of my year, honestly. These receivers just keep letting me down. I felt really good about a lot of my takes, honestly. I feel like on the show I had a lot right, but the way tournaments go, that doesn't get you very far. I mean, AJ Brown gets hurt. Drake London catches a touchdown and gets hurt. One other guy I had too that was the top receiver got hurt, whoever it was. I mean, all my receivers went down. My best team too was like just really good, and then it had Hurts and AJ Brown were the only two left, and then of course AJ gets hurt, so you're not going to win anything like that. But it is what it is. Well, we plow forward like we always do.
Yeah, I had a little better week than you. I thought you were going to come on and say like, because you hit some stuff on the show.
I felt like I had a lot of good takes. It was one of those weeks where I didn't win though.
Yeah, I had a really good team in the 3-entry max. My main core actually was pretty good. If you played my main core, because it had it didn't have. I somehow got lucky. It didn't have AJ Brown because I couldn't get up to AJ Brown, so it had all the running back like Chase Brown, Achane, Austin Eckler. I had Josh Allen who got there, even though he had a horrible first half. He did just enough. Didn't get there, I guess, but did just enough for me to be okay with him. I played him naked too, Tony, which I know you hate, but that kind of worked out because no one really got there for him. That's always the thing that tilts me about Josh Allen when I play receivers with him is no one ever gets there for him when I play him with someone. So I got lucky there. And your boy Taysom got there for me, but Gesicki,
what a hero.
But that's the problem though. Gesicki puts up the 30 ball and I'm like, fuck. I was up I was in 30th in the 150, but all I had left was the Eagles D, and I kind of hung around there until JSN put up the second touchdown. The nuke JSN
that
got me. But it was still good. I still had a good team. It had Neighbors on it, which he didn't. I needed more from him to get to the top, and I probably needed Gesicki. That's probably the difference. So
sometimes I think we used to do better when we first started playing, because when I first started playing DFS 10, 12 years ago now, I would have came in yesterday and just played Burrow, Chase, and Gesicki just because of the prices. You look back and you're like, my God, how did I not just play that against the Raiders when they have no weapons? They got Jamar Chase. They got freaking Gesicki.
That second touchdown, though, was
I get that it's fluid, but he didn't need the second one. He was already doing good. That was just
I know, but the second one was
gets it, you're just like, my God, he was 3,100 as the receiver number 2 against the Raiders on a team that is going to pass.
And Eric All got hurt in that game. There was some,
but they had Hudson back too, though. So they had another. So the funny part, the ironic part, and I'll be honest, when I first saw Hudson was running routes, I'm like, Gesicki's gonna bust. Hudson's a better receiver. So I'll be honest, I was thinking that before he crushed. So I can't just say I was gonna play him no matter what, because then Eric All gets hurt. Whatever, it is what it is.
It's funny when I was. It's funny when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh man, Eric All actually could have been a play because they were using him a good amount."
They still got 4 damn tight ends.
Yeah. Well, that's why you didn't play him.
But got a touchdown too.
I mean, they use the tight ends over there in Cincinnati. The problem.
What happens when you got
horrible.
T. Higgins never plays and frickin' the other dudes? I love that all week I talked about Burton falling asleep and all that, and then it came out that he missed he just didn't show up Saturday. Did you see that clip where Burrow was like heated on the sideline at him?
I saw. Well, I don't know what he said. But I saw
Burton
a clip of him
on the bench. It was
and
like
he got up.
Because he told him, he said, "You get off the bench. You're not allowed to sit there." He told him. He owned him.
He said that?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Joe Burrow.
Great. He said, "You're not allowed on the bench. If you don't show up, you're not a member of this team." And he made him get up, and then he did get up. He got up and just walked away.
Listen, bro, if Joe Burrow said that to me and I was that dude, I would have got up too.
The rumors were he was like, so when we talked about it on the print, the rumors were he was heavy in the game plan. Like, if he
I believe it,
Saturday,
dude. I believe that. Like 100% believe that. So I'm sure Joe Burrow was pissed if he was heavy in the game plan.
He's cut now, though. This is the last straw for him. Like
I heard the coach come out and like have his back, kind of like saying,
that's
hey,
just
listen.
public though. They're probably trying to get a trade or something. Like he was already, they already hated him. Then he just doesn't. And then he showed up Sunday in pajamas after he didn't show up Saturday. Like, man, it's bad news.
He just doesn't care. Like what? Like he's a rookie.
Just a young kid that just isn't matured yet.
Yeah, maybe that would make some sense. It's crazy. You do all this scouting, Tony, on these guys like pre-draft and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and you still just that's just something I guess you won't see until he's like in the building and you get him for like, because who knows? Maybe like one day he works really hard. And then like 2 days and he's like sleeping. That's what it is. Yeah.
It's all consistency with these guys. They can come in and look amazing one day, but then can they show right back up the next day and do the same thing?
Yeah, exactly. And like come in early and stay late and do that for a whole week.
Which is what you have to do as the professional. You got to do it every day.
And especially as a rookie or a second year guy, like it's not like he's an 8-year vet. He's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not like he's an 8-year vet who knows his way around the system and like everything and he's good. You know, some of these guys, some of the vets, like they can walk in to a system they've been in before and be like, oh, look at Kareem Hunt. Like he walked right back into the Chiefs and he had a few big games. You know what I mean? Like, well, and we'll talk about him in a sec, but I'm just saying like vets can do that. So like rookies, they can't go one day on, one day off. Like they need to be in there all the time. So it is interesting. You did talk about it too. So it will be interesting to see if he comes back is in the game plan. If T. Higgins misses again,
not coming back from this. There's no way. I don't believe it. I'll be stunned if he ever makes a contribution to this team.
He seems talented though. You can't just give up.
But
you can't just give up on someone after like 8 weeks though. I don't know. Maybe not.
Sometimes you just got to cut. But if Burrow's that pissed at him, like he's going to have to do something crazy. Like he's going to have to apologize to everyone, and he's going to have to really turn the corner. I don't see it. I don't see how it's possible.
Who is it? I was listening. Was it Tom Brady who was just like once these quarterbacks like get in their head that like you're not reliable or something, you're like you're out.
They
like
got to depend on you. He's got to know that when you're running a post pattern, that you're actually going to run the post pattern, or it's going to be an interception. So you got to have the trust.
There we go. Chase Brown, baby. Best ball season. This is take one. We needed Chase Brown.
Dude, I think this was the dude that bet me 500 on. Were you the dude, Colin? I think you were the dude that bet me 500 on Chase Brown.
What'd he bet you? 500 what?
I think I got Zach Moss and he owned me with Chase Brown, I think. But we had an injury. I might bank the injury exception.
Yeah,
yes,
sir.
I like
yes,
dude,
sir.
I'm going to give him credit right now because usually people come in and you know how they are. They just start chirping about their takes. And then they just go back in this guy was like, yeah, I'll bet. And he got right in there and he prepaid because I said, how many times have I been burned with this stuff? He sent over immediately. I respect it. I told him too, I respected it. And he's got my respect forever because of it. Now I'm rooting on Moss to get a few injuries so I could luck box out of the thing.
Of the 500.
I respect it. He deserves to win. I'll say that.
He does deserve to win because Chase Brown is owning Zach Moss.
Oh, yeah. And Chase Brown looks way better. Like Chase
Way
Brown
better.
looks way better than Moss. Even when Moss looks good, he doesn't look as good as Chase Brown.
Yeah, no. Chase Brown just has that like second level explosiveness that Zach Moss he doesn't have. Like
That's
he
what I
is.
told him, though. We got the 10K with Brown. So we're rooting on Chase Brown, baby. We're looking better with Chase Brown in there. I didn't look at the standings out after yesterday.
We need Mahomes tonight, buddy. We need Mahomes tonight. So
let's see if we pick up any steam this week.
But Jaden probably helped us out a little bit. He's on that team, right?
Yeah, let's see.
My fucking boy, Jaden.
We just can't get out of the middle of the pack, though. We're just chilling in the middle of the pack. We got to make a move.
I mean, we have to have Chiefs tonight, though, right? Didn't we have?
We got Chiefs.
Yeah. All right. Good. Well, we still got time.
Look at this guy. NFL discussions. I love the slate builder. I've compared it. Freaking love. We love it. We love this feedback because that's what we want. We want it to be easy. We want people to be able to build lineups easy because a lot of people don't have time to do a ton of research. So with that sheet, you should be able to build whatever you want.
Yeah, and you should be able to just literally be on that sheet. You not like you have to jump from sheet to sheet to find shit. Everything should be there for you to be able to build teams. So that's awesome. Logan, we appreciate the feedback. Of course, we love good feedback, Tony. That's always what we want is the good feedback. So.
We don't get good feedback often. I like some good feedback. Usually it's just mentioned about what we do wrong.
I did get a few DMs being like, oh, I forgot to DM you when you guys asked the first time, but I just wanted to let you know the slate builder's awesome. And so there were some people. I haven't heard
many negatives. And the good thing when people don't complain is it probably is good because people can't wait to complain when stuff's not good. So it must be decent.
Yeah, and I heard some like ideas for things we could add and stuff like that. Like I so some people were saying like the thing about us highlighting if we make a change and stuff like that. And then someone brought up something about maybe like a leverage stack, so I know about some lower owned guys if I need pivots, which I thought was an interesting, instead of
honestly the 3 Saber ones, we can always filter out for good leverage type stuff.
Even if it's just a core of 5 guys and it's not like a full core, but it's just 5 guys that are like pivots, like ownership pivots.
Or what we could do at the bottom is under each position, we could highlight a different color, like some of the leverage guys.
I just know you. I thought about that, but I know you, and I'm kind of this way too. I don't like all the colors. I'm not a big fan of like a
that's
ton
what's
of
nice
different...
about the sheet. It's just simple and clean and that stuff.
Yeah. That's why I like it. So Chase Brown is the Ronnie Hillman. Shout out to Ronnie Hillman, baby. He had one big year too, didn't he? Didn't Ronnie Hillman have
Ronnie
one
Hillman
year?
might have won a Super Bowl, honestly.
Was he on a Denver team?
Yeah, I think he might. I think he was on a good Peyton Manning team. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Wait, R.I.P. R.I.P. Ronnie Hillman?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that.
I don't think.
How old is he? Shit. I feel like he's not that old.
I don't think Chase Brown's white, though, is he?
Chase Brown's not white.
Well, he said the white Ronnie Hillman. I don't think he's white, is he?
Is Chase Brown white?
I don't think he is, but maybe he is. I don't know. I don't think he's white.
I don't think he is either, but I could totally be off here.
I could be off too because we don't see him often, like just without it.
Yeah, he doesn't take his helmet off often. We're just kind of
he's definitely not white. I don't think he's white. He might be a mixture or something.
I didn't know that. That's terrible.
I didn't realize he died at 31. Yeah, I didn't realize
he won a Super Bowl, dude. That's a Super Bowl.
Did he win a Super Bowl? I thought he did.
Super Bowl 50 championship. Ronnie Hillman.
I thought so. With Peyton Manning, right?
That was the Peyton Manning year. Yeah, that's terrible. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a Super Bowl winning running back, baby. Chase Brown, you got something to shoot for. You can do it.
2 guys on that Broncos team died because Demarius died too.
Demarius. Yeah, I knew that. That one I definitely knew. So
he's Canadian though, so that automatically makes him half VIP.
That was like one of the most dominating seasons offensively you'll ever see. That season was crazy. Absolutely crazy. From fantasy perspective, every perspective, they just dominated.
They're awesome.
Yeah. Fuck. All right. Well, thanks for bringing the mood down on the RIPs chat. That's all right though. Ronnie Hillman, GOAT. 31. That's crazy. Damn. All right. Tony, let's get to this football game before we get even more sidetracked here and I start going off on tangents left and right. By the way, hit the like button on the video. RPS 15% off. If you're not a member and you want to check it out, RPS 15, you can use that for a month or weekly, whatever you guys want. We got all the sports for you. I know college basketball is starting up. My boy Stevie Boynton starting to tweet out some college basketball stuff. So check out Stevie's content. He always does great with the college basketball breakdowns, playbook, cores, everything. We got you covered for all
First
the
one of the year's up, baby.
Of course it's up, because you know why? Stevie is a planner. My guy Steve is a planner. He's the opposite of Big T when it comes to planning, okay? Big T, not a planner. Steve is a planner, and the thing that they have the same thing with is they both work really fucking hard on their content, and Steve works really, really hard on that playbook. So if you're into college basketball, you want to check it out. Check out Stevie Boynton stuff.
He got an 11-game slate up there tonight, 7 p.m. I'm looking at the playbook right now because I wanted to see the new layout. He's got a new layout with cash rankings, GPP rankings, and matchup difficulty rankings. So his buddy Gavin does. So we're back, baby. Hoop season is fully back now. I don't watch college much until March Madness, but I know Stevie jerks himself to college, which is what you want. You want your content provider loving it. You love that JSU loves Pacers, Grizzlies in February. I love that
February in November. What do you mean?
In November, anytime you want. I love that Stevie loves this too. So
DK too. I think they have like one of those like boosts to plus like 105 boosts over there for college basketball specifically. So if you bet like 10 or 11 games, they give you 105% boost on your bet. So check that out on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. They post that if you're into college basketball betting, which I'm sure we'll have some college basketball picks. I'm gonna have to message Stevie Boynton after and find out the college hoops winners so I can make a little parlay real quick. Throw $25 on it, see if I can win me something big. But we got football here, Chiefs and Bucks here on a Monday night. It's in Kansas City. And Tony, me and you were talking before we jumped on here, and you were like, damn, I thought this game was in Tampa. This man, Pat Mahomes, runs so pure. He gets this game in Kansas City. There might be some weather. There's a little contradictory, like it could rain, it could not rain. It might rain a little bit. It might thunder and lightning. I don't know, but we'll see with the weather. From a game standpoint, though, it's a 9.5 point spread, no matter depending on where you're looking right now. Tampa on the road, down their two best offensive weapons. What are you doing here with Tampa?
Yeah, man, these Chiefs games are just tough. From last year when we talked trash about them all year, posted the gif of the three dudes dancing. It's just tough. And then we came in
that was a great gif, by the way.
Yeah, great gif. And then we came in this year, all the preseason shows, I said I was betting them to go undefeated, the Chiefs. I drafted Mahomes and all kinds of stuff, my high-stakes stuff, our high-stakes stuff. Everywhere I drafted Mahomes. So they're undefeated. I bet the undefeated. I thought they had a chance to go undefeated. The issue is how they got to here is not how I saw it going. I thought their offense was going to be amazing. I loved Rashee Rice. I loved Hollywood Brown coming in. Neither one of them are here anymore. Injury after injury after injury. It doesn't freaking matter because Mahomes, all he does is win. But, man, it's really hard with the way they play. Their defense, they're almost winning how New England used to win. Did my screen freeze? Oh, my whole screen froze for a minute. They're almost winning how Brady won his first two Super Bowls, where it was all defense. I mean, people can give Brady all the credit they want. He did win. I was more impressed with Brady's last couple championships where it was more him. First couple, it was all defense and Belichick. And this year, Mahomes hasn't been that good, if we're being honest. He's thrown a lot of interceptions. They manage the ball. He doesn't throw touchdowns, but they win because they're good defense, good coach. Mahomes knows how to make big plays when it matters, but it makes it really hard for fantasy. I mean, you look at this team, They add Hopkins, which has to help a little bit. Each week, Hopkins is going to get more and more comfortable. And the more comfortable Hopkins gets, the more dangerous Xavier Worthy is going to be, because Hopkins can definitely work the underneath like Kelsey can and give some space to Worthy, because you have to pay attention to Hopkins and Kelsey, who are two possession guys. So they're still very dangerous. Tampa Bay, though, is going to give us a true make or break spot, because everyone crushes Tampa through the air. They somewhat, I was going to pull up the flow chart real quick. So against the ground lately, Tampa Bay has gotten, man, they even got beat up a little on the ground the last couple of weeks. But against the pass, though, they just had, it's funny, the last couple of weeks have kind of been the inverse, where they've gotten beat a little bit more with the run. But they're going to try to slow it down. This is a good matchup for Mahomes, and it's kind of just a make or break spot. But the annoying part is Tampa Bay is missing all kinds of people too. Their two stud receivers are out. Jalen McMillan turned up banged up. I'm not even like 100% sure he's going to play. I think he will, but man, you start looking at these receivers and they just don't have, how are they going to compete? The Chiefs defense has been awesome. And if the Chiefs are up 14 in the fourth quarter, they're not going to throw the ball. So you need Tampa Bay to do something. I really, really struggle with Kansas City games. And I've been pretty good lately with these showdowns. Like I've had a bunch of people like the rules I put up, and we've had a bunch of success. I'm not super confident tonight, though. I'll be honest, because I know I need to play Mahomes, and I know I need to play these receivers for it to be a big night. But I'm scarred. I got scar tissue from them going out here and just running the ball and killing the clock, and just it's tough. It's a tough spot.
So here's the good thing for Tampa Bay. I know that they lost their two best weapons and everything like that, but the one thing they do is, and someone said, WKJ said it, Chiefs suck against the tight end. It's kind of more like a style thing. I don't like, they play so much too high. They're pretty much just protecting against the big plays. They're saying like, hey, we'll give you this underneath crap with the tight end. We're not letting you beat us like deep. We're not letting you have those big plays. So if you're going to drive down the field, you're going to have to do it slow and methodically and take a long time. And over time, they just hope their defense gets to you. You know what I mean? Like their pass rush and everything like that. And it's worked. You know what I mean? That's worked. The one thing, though, I will say is the way this Tampa Bay offense kind of functions, yeah, they want to run the ball, which I think is going to be tough against the Chiefs. But the short passing game, the screen game, the way they use their running backs in the passing game plus their tight end, it actually kind of sets up well against this Chiefs team. So it's kind of really unfortunate that they don't have those other weapons to, like, you know, keep a team like the Chiefs somewhat honest in this spot here. But I do think that they could, you know, score some points to keep this game kind of moving to where it's not just a complete one-sided game. I know the spread is kind of big, and, you know, Chiefs do probably win this game by double digits, but I don't know if it's just completely one-sided, Tony. So for Showdown, I'm not playing the 5-1s. I definitely think it's a good spot for guys like Rachaad White, Cade Otton, who are probably two of my favorite Bucs players just overall. And then I think you can find some value if someone like Jalen McMillan is actually questionable. I know Sterling Shepard's, you know, banged up a little bit too. So like two of their three main wide receivers is banged up. So it does make it interesting from a showdown standpoint. But I do think the Bucs can move the ball a little bit. Baker has been really good from a fantasy standpoint of putting up points, even if it is in almost like comeback mode, right, Tony? Like they're down and they kind of like, you know, backdoor their way into a game. I could see them backdooring their way into a cover and stuff like that, to where it, at the end of the game, it looks closer than maybe what the game, you know, was all the way. But that for fantasy is okay. So I'm not playing 5-1s here. I think there's some good plays on Tampa just from a volume standpoint. And I'm with you. I think Pat Mahomes it's literally now or never. This has to be the game where Pat Mahomes can give us something. Like it has to be. It can't just be all the running backs. I refuse to believe that's the way this team is playing all year round. And I do think that. What do you think DeAndre Hopkins' second game is like? Because first game, they were easy with him, right? He didn't play that much. I think he only ran it was like 32% of the snaps. He did run 14 routes in the 32% of snaps, which is pretty good. What do you think's the uptick here? Because Justin Watson ran 28. He literally ran double the amount of DeAndre Hopkins snaps. And I think that's who he would be kind of taking over or taking away from if your idea is it goes up, which I think everyone assumes.
Yeah, I mean, you have to assume it goes up each week. I mean, I don't know how much, just because the Chiefs are so smart with this type of stuff. They might literally just ease him in and a little bit extra each week, but I do think it has to go up. And just a couple more notes. So, everyone talked about Kansas City against the tight end. You know who's worse than Kansas City against the tight end?
Who, Anthony?
Tampa Bay is worse against them. Amazing how you got that. I can't believe you got that, but it is like a dream matchup.
You were expecting me to totally just be like, Tampa, duh, you idiot. I know you were too. Yeah. I was actually a little fucking. You're fucking rude, you asshole. You're trying to make me look bad after.
Actually, I was trying to put it on a tee for you, but still.
That's when you come back to me and you go like, "Oh, of course, JSU."
If you didn't get that one, I was going to really be worried. you got that one for sure. But it's an absolute dream spot for both tight ends tonight. I mean, Kelsey and Kate Otten are just two of the best plays. And another note, Tampa Bay loves to run the ball, and Kansas City is just by far the best all season long so far at stopping the run, all running. That's just fantasy points with my numbers. So not necessarily run. It's also, however, just fantasy points for running backs. So yeah, it's a tough matchup. So that's kind of the one disagreement I have, me and you. I think they might just kill them. I really struggle to see Tampa Bay moving the ball. I'm looking at their bodies. It's got to be Kate Otten and Rachaad White, though. That's the one thing I do agree with you, because I look at these other guys. And man, I mean, Raheem Jarrett, I liked him in college. Ryan Miller, it reminds me of Thursday when you were talking up those cheap guys, and I'm just like, I can't play these guys. Man, it's tough out there, but I hope they can, because the only way we're going to get true upside from Kansas City is if Tampa Bay can move the ball a little bit for us. I do think Kate Otten is a great play too, but man, he's 8,400.
It's crazy. I know. I know.
It is. I mean, we've had showdown slates where he's 3,400. He's 8,400. Travis Kelce's 8,800. Travis Kelce is an infinitely better play than Kate Otten.
You just can't. Well, of course, but you just can't argue with the volume. You know what I mean? Volume is king in this scoring method, and you just can't argue with the fact.
All your take though with the defense, I agree with the Chiefs. They play too high. They're still well coached though, and if they go into this game and they have to look at the roster and be like, who's going to hurt us? We gotta roll a double on the game.
I don't know if a team like that is gonna really care, because at the end of the day, what they're doing
is just gonna let them just keep throwing the
Kate. No, here's my take though. What they're doing is working. It's working really well. I get what you're saying. There's no other threats. Why not just try and take Kate Otten away? But I don't know. Is that what they do? Do they just go away from the game plan that's got them to an undefeated record? And I don't know if it's just that. Maybe it is that simple, though. Maybe they do that, Tony. And if they do that, then one of these receivers probably gets there, because I'll tell you right now, Baker Mayfield's not afraid to sling the ball. I don't care if he's throwing a Raheem Jarrett or whoever else.
Sure, yeah.
He's going to throw it. So, which is good for the Chiefs defense too. So if you like defense on this slate, that's good for the Chiefs defense, because you want a quarterback who's going to take risks, and Baker will take risks. So that's kind of good for the the Chiefs defense play. I just think, Tony, you're going to see 15 to 20 targets to these running backs. I mean, Bucky Irving and Rachaad White last game, what did they have here? Did they have almost 15 targets combined? Literally like 15. Like that's a crazy amount of volume. And if they can't run the football, the short passing game is pretty much an extension of that, right? So I think that is you're going to see a lot of screens. You're going to see a lot. And if those plays can work and they, those guys, one of those guys will get there. So I really like Rachaad White. I think this game kind of sets up for him to just get a ton of dump offs, especially because Bucky, he's another guy coming in a little banged up with a toe issue. So I don't know. I know they went to Bucky in that game last week, but it was after Rachaad White fumbled. Rachaad White actually started the game too, fumbled right off the bat. Still ended up with 16 fantasy points after fumbling right off the bat. So I don't know. What are you doing with the running backs for Tampa Bay, Tony? Because I know this is obviously Showdown. It's different than main slates, but in main slates, you're like, I'm not messing with it. There's too many guys. What about on this slate? Are you messing with the running back situation for Tampa?
So I was looking back through this while you were talking, and so the Chiefs, I was trying to see exactly who they played. I mean, they held Kamara to 12 points, 11 for 26, 6 for 40.
That was domination too.
And he caught 6 passes in that game for 40 yards and still only got 12. Week 4, they played the Chiefs or the Chargers. So the Chargers are a great running team. J.K. Dobbins got 9 points.
So in that game, they had 2 offensive linemen that were down. Their best.
Again, all this stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. I'm just trying to give context to that. They didn't have Bosa.
Whole season, though, like nobody's got them all year. Bijan, they played Atlanta. Bijan went 16 for 31, caught 2 for 21 in the passing game. Nothing.
Well, okay, so you just think this game's going to be a rout? Like you're calling for a 30
well,
to
I'm just saying,
10?
like I get your philosophy of why you think it's going to go through the running backs. I'm just saying, like, no one has got them all. So the Bengals got them a little bit, right?
No. I thought so. No.
So the Chiefs, not only are they number 1, I just went through each week because I want the Ravens. They did play the Ravens. Listen, the Ravens had to get them a little bit. That was week 1.
Justice Hill, didn't he score
11 points? 11 points. Yeah. Derrick Henry, 13 for 46, 10 points. Justice Hill caught 6 passes for 52 yards. Still only 11 fantasy points. I mean, the most fantasy points they've given up all year is 12 to the running back. Now we're facing a team that has no receivers. I just don't know how they're going to let the running backs beat them. I wish I could. Believe me, I want to talk myself into liking Rachaad with you. I really do, because in my head, it makes sense. They have to dump it off. They don't have receivers. I just don't know if he has upside. I mean, even if he catches 6 passes for 40 yards, I don't think 10 is going to be enough at what is his price?
No, I think he needs like at least what he got last game, 15. I think he needs at least something like 15 at that price tag. He's 70. Where's he at here? 7,400.
So this is my issue with it. It's just I'm trying to talk myself into some Tampa pieces, but I got Kate Otten at 8,400. Rachaad White and Bucky Irving, both expensive against a team that is the best run defense in all of football at home. I just think that, and I haven't said this all year, but I just think it's got 5-1 written all over it in my head. It's just because I know I want to play Mahomes. I know I want to play Kelsey for sure. So that's 2 spans. How do I not play Kareem Hunt when they're going to hand the ball off? I mean, I don't have enough salary to spend up on one of these Tampa guys.
Yeah, I guess that's where I think there's enough. I think I can find value too, to where maybe you don't like the value as much as I do, but I think the Chiefs have value that we're going to get into that I'm going to like more than you, but I don't know. I feel like I can play. Value? I think Noah Gray is like one of the best value plays by far on the entire slate. And no, I guess you're not talking about him, but
You know how
Noah
many
Gray
times
played.
I've played Noah Gray?
Noah Gray, listen to this though. He played 70% of the snaps. He ran the fourth most amount of routes of any player on the team, of any player, wide receiver, running back, fourth most of any. The only players that ran more were Worthy, Justin Watson, and Travis Kelce. So of any player. Then two of their tight ends that played a decent amount, not like a ton, but two of them went on IR. Jody Fortson got hurt in that game last week. And then in practice, our boy Matthew Wiley 77, got hurt. He tore his ACL Friday. So they're down multiple tight ends. They called up Hendershot from the practice squad. So Peyton Hendershot somehow ended up on their practice squad. I don't know when that happened, but he's probably going to be, he could be active today, or it seems like he could be active. But I think Noah Gray,
sure, yeah.
Yeah. So I think Noah Gray's going to play a ton, though. I think he's going to be out there a ton. The wide receivers, they're still down Juju. Who knows how much they trust D-Hop still. They got a lot of players that are down. They're not going to run Mecole Hardman a ton. They're going to play multiple tight ends. They did it a lot last year. They like to run out of multiple tight ends too. I don't know. It just seems like a spot where Noah Gray's going to again play that much. And if Noah Gray's playing that much against a team that you told me was what? One of the worst teams against tight ends, I can't not play some Noah Gray at that price tag. I'm sorry. I just can't.
Back-to-back showdowns where we're just going head-to-head on some points, and your cheap guys donutted for you last time, so you got
they were bad.
One direction to go up from.
You owned me last time for sure. You owned me last time.
The worst part is I always like Noah Gray. I always play him, but for one, he's going to be very chalky tonight because he's one of the only values. Well, if
I don't think he will be.
If McMillan is in, he won't be as much. But if he's out and all those Tampa receivers are the same price. Or I mean the opposite of how I said it.
The opposite. Yeah, you're saying the opposite.
Of how I said it. But, man, I play this guy every showdown because he's always cheap, and he never, ever, ever, ever gets there.
Don't forget, he scored a touchdown the last time we played him in Showdown. They called it back, and we were pissed.
10's good, but he scored a touchdown to get 10.
Dude, give me 10 tonight. I will take 10 points.
Yeah, but I agree.
You would take 10 points from Noah Gray.
Sure. If you gave me 10, I'd lock him in there. But
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't hate. I can be talked into any Chiefs guy. It's the Tampa side I need to be sold on. I wish I liked one person from Tampa. I mean, Trey Palmer went to college in Nebraska. That's the same area. Maybe Trey Palmer you could talk me into. Did he wake up mad? What's that tweet he always sends? I woke up pissed.
He woke up mad the last two slates, and he gave us 2 and 4. It did not work out for him. So, yeah, that's a thing. Well, no matter what, Tony, even if you play 5-1, Tony,
is 5,600, man.
Yeah, I can't play Sterling 7. Here's my thing, though. No matter what, you got to sell yourself on one of these guys. They're going to be in a trailing script.
Maybe I just play Baker and just
in a 5-1 with in a 5-1 with just Baker.
Oh, maybe Baker in one of the cheaper random pieces.
Yeah. So a 4-2.
I mean, who knows who he throws it to? He could run one in too.
I know we're getting all over the place here a little bit, but let's stay on
the slate,
the Tampa.
Though. It's the slate.
All right. So Tampa side, we talked about White. We talked Cade Otton. After those guys, you brought up Trey Palmer, which I'm not really into. It's annoying because McMillan's the guy who has the upside. He's just banged up. So, how legit questionable is he, right, Tony? Is he questionable? He'll be okay. He's going to play his normal amount, or is he questionable?
I woke up angry. I went to sleep sad.
Yeah.
I agree with you, McMillan. We just got to wait and see on McMillan because he's definitely their most talented. I'm still annoyed from that last time, too, because no one was on him whatever game that was before the chalk game. So 2 games ago on Showdown.
Such a good play.
And he dropped a touchdown at the end, and everyone nuked. And when you don't get paid off with takes like that, it hurts your feelings because you should get paid off with it.
What was
And
annoying too about him was I got him like 15-1 live
yeah.
for an anytime touchdown
Ugh.
after like the first or second quarter, and he was like 15-1, and I was just sitting there and I was just like, how the hell? It in the third quarter, I remember it because or third or fourth, whenever Chris Godwin went out, the live line went to like plus 750, like right away. So I was like, I knew I had like such a good steal at 15-1.
Such a
And
good
then
bet.
of course he drops the
Because Evans
touchdown
was
in the end
already
zone.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That was upset. But I just like, he's definitely the most talented. This is why I just keep ending up on 5-1s, because
I think this Jared kid looked pretty good when he was out
he was
there.
awesome in college. He's very talented. So I can see it. But again, man, he's just, yeah, I mean, that's probably the answer for me, honestly. The answer for me probably is play Baker with one of the Trey Palmer or lower, like Trey Palmer, even Sean Tucker. Like, say it's a blowout. So everyone's talking about
he's in play.
And he's at least cheap, though. He's 2,600. I mean, Rashad and Bucky are expensive, and it could be Sean Tucker, especially in a blowout. Like, if it starts blowing out, they're not. I mean, Bucky Irving's questionable. Bucky Irving's not a lock to play. I mean, he could be out, so that's even more value.
They said he's going to deal with this injury like the rest of the season.
He's just going to be questionable all year and just go in there and. Yeah.
I think it's just an injury that he's gonna. It's like a real injury that he has to like just gut through.
Yeah, just
you know what I mean, like play through. So
I think that's my answer then. Baker with a cheap guy with him, so it's still a 4-2. But Baker would, because I just the plays I struggle with the most are the expensive Tampa guys that I like. Like, I do like Cade Otton, but I like Cade Otton better in 5-1s. So if it's a 4-2, I like Baker plus a cheap guy. If it's a 5-1, I could see Cade Otton just grinding his way to 12 or something.
Couldn't you see Rachaad White grinding his way through 12 in a 5-1?
You're gonna have a hard time selling me on the running backs.
Yeah,
Kansas City just. Man, I mean, they shut down Bijan, Saquon. I really struggle with the Rashad play, especially with 3 running backs in the mix on top of it.
I don't know why. I just feel like Tampa uses their running backs just differently than a lot of those other teams.
You think they use them that much different than Bijan?
I know what I watched, and I just watched this team, and their screen game is just heavily in play. And then when they're not running screen plays, these just like, dropbacks where it's designed to go to the running back. Like he literally like looks off one receiver and then just right to the running back. I don't know. I feel like
he's the play that makes the most sense. If you take all my numbers out of it and the matchups, and he's the guy that makes the most sense though, just because he's a little bit cheaper than Cade. He can, in theory, he gets the red zone carries. In theory, he gets the dump offs. He checks all the boxes. It's just, man, this defense just clamps guys.
So the way we're talking, though, we're pretty much like, I don't have really any 3-3s.
Like, no, I'm definitely not playing 3-3s. The only 3-3 that would even remotely hit for me would have to be Baker with 2 cheap, like Jared and Ryan Miller or something, would be the only 3-man that I could even consider.
Yeah, and you're probably not going to get to many of those, just to be honest. So I did want to touch on that because
I mean, I don't know what would it be if you did that. Like, say you played. Let's just look real quick. If you played a Mahomes captain though, Mahomes captain with Kelsey, Hunt, Baker. That's a realistic 3, but then even on a build like that, I would just play Gray or something in that build with it in a Mahomes captain. But in that build, you would have 3,400 for your last 2 spots. So in theory, that would be a build that I could do. But I'd rather just play Gray in that build, like you said with Mahomes.
Well, yeah, and like I would assume you'd have a rule with Mahomes at least 2 pass catchers.
Yeah. If I play Mahomes in the captain, it will be two pass catchers for sure.
At least. So the running back doesn't even count in that scenario, I would assume, right?
No, like I would not put Hunt in that rule for sure.
Yeah. Would you put P. Ryan in that rule?
No, but
no.
I think you could. But I don't think they're going to be – I mean, he's just not going to play when they're winning.
Any Hunt in the I don't have any Hunt in the captain. Tony, any Hunt in the captain?
I'm not going to, but you definitely can. It's if they blow him out, it could definitely be him again. I'm not going to personally do it, but you could.
I think it's more like a Travis Kelce in the captain, if not
Kelsey's got to
Mahomes.
be my favorite one.
Maybe just maybe I know you don't like this, but like the cheap guy gets there and you can just have all the floor 5-1. It's just
this
full
is not
Chiefs.
a cheap captain build.
Yeah,
No
maybe
way.
not. It's probably Kelce, Mahomes.
There's too many cheap plays tonight. Some of these cheapies, at least one or two, have to get there. They have to.
Well, you hate all of Tampa though.
I don't see how the Chiefs aren't blowing this team out. And right now, you can get if you pull up the unabated odds screen over at RunPure, DraftKings has an 8.5. So if there's other games you want to like tease next week, like let me look for example. So like let's see if there's any good ones. Chargers play Tennessee, like that seems like a great teaser spot. Miami plays the Rams. How freaking lucky did you guys get with your Rams, by the way? Oh,
lucky.
My God.
Lucky.
They had a 100-yard interception return.
Hey, Chad, I got a question. Did they ask me how lucky I was when I walked to the window with my ticket? Did they ask me how lucky I was then? Look at this guy.
The whole time I was watching, I was just miserable thinking of you two.
I just used analogy again. I just used it on them. That was the best ever. Do they ask me for it when I walk to the window with the winner?
God. Nice, Kevin. Ask.
How was the Rams? You were lucky that you got overtime. How did you get overtime in that game?
Well, I shouldn't have got overtime, but it shouldn't have even got that far. Like the Geno Smith threw some of the worst interceptions I've ever seen in my entire life. It was embarrassing.
That pick six. So I'm tilting because they got this phantom call. They got that phantom bullshit, like pass interference where the feet got tangled. The guy actually turned around for the ball. Like he tried to make a play and they threw the flag. So I'm like, oh, fuck, Geno's going to go down there and score and this game's going to end up tied, blah, blah, blah. So then he throws the pick six or whatever. And that happens and stuff like that. So I'm laughing.
So bad.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, Geno can't be any worse. Then he goes down and throws that other pick at the 10-yard line. It was the worst pick. How did that guy not touch the ball, Tony? The tight end he threw it to. What was it? Was it Barner? I forget who it was.
I didn't even remember this game.
I'm so glad you reminded me. It made me smile ear to ear when they won that game. Dude, Sean McVay in the fourth quarter, his play calling, I thought he lost his balls, but in overtime, calling that play and Stafford throwing that thing for a touchdown, I was like, nope, McVay regained his balls. That was a fucking play right there.
McVay's a good coach. I don't know. He's a guy that just coaches good.
No, he did coach good. I just thought he coached to not win at the end of that fourth quarter with his play calling. I was in total disagreement with whoever was calling that game because he's like, I love how he called that play. Normally, some coaches will try to throw and, then they'll stop the clock if there's an incompletion. What's the difference, though? Because if they get the ball back like they did and they go down and score, they had enough time. So what's the difference if there was an extra 30 seconds left on the clock or not? Who cares? They had time to score. Doesn't matter. It's not like there was 50 seconds left on the clock and they went down and scored and used up all the time. So your argument means shit. It doesn't matter. You still have to get the first down. You call the best plays to get the first down. You don't just run right up the middle. Drives me nuts every single time.
No, I don't agree with that for sure.
But McVay is a genius in general. I do agree with your statement. And Demarcus Robinson's the man.
I was talking about before this. How did I get sidetracked on that? What was I? I was talking about the teaser. I was talking about the teaser because it's 9 or 9.5 everywhere tonight. So one way I think you can and the teasers have been terrible this year. I'm always honest. That's why I get so freaking mad when people say I'm not, because the teasers have printed for 10 years for me, and this year they have sucked. Every week there's one team that loses that kills me. This week was the Saints. losing to Carolina. Every week, you can't have one team that kills you. So I'll be honest, they've sucked. But tonight, if you put Kansas City minus 2.5, 8.5 down to 2.5, and you put it with the Chargers versus Tennessee, and you put it with Miami versus the Rams. So I actually really like that one. That's Monday Night Football next week. Miami's going to catch 8.5 versus the Rams. Yeah, I like that. But yeah,
that's a good matchup for Miami.
I'm going to keep firing the teasers too, because I still believe in them. And it's only been 9 weeks now. Man, they've been bad though. Every week there's one big favorite that loses that kills everything.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good spot for Miami for sure. So it's Miami 8.5. Did you say?
Well, with the teaser, it's 2.5.
So it goes to 8.5 and in this game right here, which you get down. Okay. I like that. Yeah. Brad Moore, you know it. Saints are losers.
Saints are losers. Big T, where are you from? I'm from Colorado, but I live in Kentucky right now.
Colorado. All right. Anything else you want to bring up from yesterday? Because I felt good when you started bringing stuff up. Do you want to throw one out there so you can feel good?
I don't know if I have any that I can feel. I'm trying to. I did pretty good last night in Showdown.
True.
We can talk about the night game last night. I did good last night, but that's
not true. Talk about the night game last night.
I didn't have many victories yesterday. There's not a ton of victory laps. I got lucky yesterday too, or at night, because I sent that tweet about who's the fourth receiver from
Adonai Mitchell.
Yeah, AD Mitchell. This dude stood on the sideline, and I need to look up his snaps because I was curious. He played one or two snaps that I saw. I'm legitimately curious right now.
I'll tell you.
See how many he played, because I didn't see him on the field at all.
He played 6% of the snaps. That was 3 snaps.
3 snaps. I knew he didn't play because you could see him standing next to the coach on the sideline the whole game, just standing there. So he was doing the opposite of Burton. He was trying to learn, I think, and he was trying to.
Something was weird about that game, though.
He just never played,
because he didn't play. Josh Downs played 51%. They played a ton of tight end heavy.
And Doolin played a ton more than him.
Doolin played 22%. I think one thing, though, that's annoying with AD is AD should, in theory, take Alec Pierce's role, because Alec Pierce is a one-trick. He's a deep guy, and I think AD would take his spot. Yeah. And I feel like Alec Pierce and Joe Flacco have some of the best chemistry, so it's like the worst for AD Mitchell, unfortunately. But
what I was going to say, though, is I got so freaking lucky because I bet the ladders. I sent the tweet. If you check out the Gambly app, it lets you bet the ladders. But always when I bet the ladders, my biggest bet is the first even money one. And then it goes down with each leg, just because obviously each leg's less likely. And he had one play, and he made the most amazing catch of the whole game on the sideline.
Yes.
And it hit his over. And it hit
his
over on the first one. So I ended up making a little bit of money because of it. That was so loud. He played one snap really the whole freaking night and caught that.
It's insane.
I still did good though, because all the other guys did good. Jefferson crushed, Arnold crushed. I wasn't as high on some of the plays that didn't do good. So that was my only victory. And it was like a min cash victory. So I'll take my min cash victory.
My boy Josh Oliver scored again, Tony. Do you see that?
Oliveira. What do you mean? Oliveira.
No, I said I would get his name right if we got the first touchdown bet.
That's true. He scored for us. Now he's Oliver
scored.
Again. That's
exactly. He's Oliver again.
We should have bet him
Tony.
Again. Why didn't we?
I don't know why. Can you?
So the teasers, I've talked about these for a long time, but they're called Wong teasers. You can look them up. WONG. It's a guy that came up, but you tease through the 3 and the 7 in NFL only, really. If it's a low total college, you could do it. But so if a team is a 2.5 point underdog, you tease it up to 8.5, because it goes the key numbers in football. Everyone knows 3 and 7, just the way that the numbers go. So you're teasing it through both key numbers. And basically, if you do 2 teams, you're getting the same price as if you bet one game. It's a little higher, like minus 120 or minus 130, depending on where you do it. But the odds in the past, I mean, they've printed every year until this year, and they have just sucked this year. They've been terrible, but I still think they're profitable, and I'm going to keep betting them. I don't know, they've been good to me over my life.
Yeah, Tony's been talking these things up since I met him. He's been talking about these long teasers, so he definitely
know it too, though. Like
them.
the books will cater around these too. So, like tonight, in theory, a lot of these books won't give you 8.5. That's why a lot of them are 9.5, because they don't want you to tease it below the 3.
Shout out DK Sportsbook. It's 8.5 right now. Hashtag DK partner. You can go over there. You can get your 8.5. And then the game Tony was talking about with the Rams and the Dolphins, and you can put them two together.
And I love the Chargers doing that. That's a little 3 just for the show, a 3-man teaser. The Chargers versus Tennessee. My Chargers. I'm going to start saying my Chargers because I bet them every week and they win for me every week. That's a positive for me. The Chargers.
Oh, that 3-team teaser right there is a plus 160 bet. If you put all 3 of those in, Chargers, Dolphins, Chiefs, and then you hit the teaser, that's going to give you a plus 160 right there if you want to do that over on DraftKings. Yeah. So, bam. Still teaching. Big T still teaching. Got to still teach. Always. If you are confused, by anything we're talking about, always just, ask the question. But that's that. Tony, we didn't talk much about kickers and defenses. Are you in on kickers and defenses? I personally have been on kickers a lot in Showdown. I don't really like them in this spot. I think I like Butker the most, but I don't really like them as much as I have on other slates. What about you?
Yeah, I like Butker a little bit, but I agree just because I think we got a tiny bit of weather tonight from what I saw. I don't think it's like crazy bad, but it's outdoors, a little bit of weather. I definitely don't like the Tampa side of kicker. I just don't think they really move the ball enough. But and defenses, even though I like the Chiefs, I don't love it just because, I don't know, Baker is kind of a gunslinger, so I should probably like the Chiefs more than I do. But I don't know. I'm a little lower than I've been too, because we've been high on it all year. I'm not like super, super high on them tonight.
Yeah, for the first time, I think I'm higher on like the Chiefs defense than the Chiefs kicker, which is weird. Just because I don't feel like it's a kicking spot. Like I think the Chiefs are going to get up. I think they're going to be able to finish drives. And then I think Tampa's going to just end up in situations where they're probably going to have to go for it more, Tony, right? They're not in as many kicking situations early. And then later they're being more aggressive because they don't want to get too far down in the game. And
Andy Reid dicks around a lot anyways, too. Like, he'll just run weird plays instead of field goals. And
that's true. That's true.
I don't know.
But all right, so are you defense or kicker if you had to choose, Butker or the Chiefs D?
I would choose Butker for sure over the Chiefs D.
Okay.
Just, I feel like they definitely are going to score enough to get him solid. The Chiefs D, you're going to need some stuff to happen for.
All right, top captains on this slate. Do you have 2 or 3 your favorite if you just had to list them?
I'm only going to play Mahomes, Kelsey, Worthy, maybe Hop.
I think I'm Mahomes, Kelsey. Maybe I play one Noah Gray just to throw it at you.
I feel like Worthy is a primetime, like where he's going to have a game in one of these damn primetime spots where he just
me and you have both tried Worthy the last 2 weeks. I gave him out as my play of the day when you weren't on the show, and
I loved him that week too. I didn't know you did that. I loved him that week.
I thought he was a great play. He was 1% owned. He scored 13. We got the touchdown.
He was wide open on a deep ball, to be fair, too.
Wide open. Yeah, no, I know he was too.
And you just don't get multiple chances with him. He's just got to connect on the deep one with him.
But I will say, though, I do agree with you. One of these slates, he's going for 102 touchdowns. Like, he's going to get multiple. And it could be this one.
Seems like the spot. Like, Tampa, we watched Mooney destroy this team twice. He's got a little bit of Mooney in him.
They need what you said, though. They need D-Hop to go out there and give him something, underneath besides Kelsey, because that's going to open up those deep chances for Worthy. They're trying to – I think with all these guys out, they were trying to expand Worthy's, route running tree and roll. And I just don't think he's that guy right now, right, Tony? He does a few things really well, and I think he's working on a few things. And maybe D-Hop will help him, because obviously D-Hop, he doesn't really have the speed, but he's got the route running probably down where he could, help Worthy out a little. But I do think, what do you think about like one of like Worthy or Kelsey on all your teams, or D-Hop and Worthy, or do you do anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, Kelsey's got to be a near lock for me. Tampa's the worst against tight end. Kelsey, I'm sure they'll be showing Taylor Swift all freaking night. Kelsey looking up at her.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to like Kelsey. I don't know. Oh, so a rule, I mean, I want 2 of Mahomes, Kelsey, Worthy, 2+. I'm fine with all 3. 2+ though on all teams for sure.
I like that rule. 2+ of those 3 guys.
And I'm
is
definitely
a good rule.
fine with 3 too, but at least 2.
What's the odds if we do the triple tight end touchdown here, Tony? Noah Gray, Travis Kelce, Cade Otton. Triple tight end pays 34-1 on DraftKings Sportsbook.
I like 34-1.
Yeah, if you want the triple tight end, let's give a play of the day. Do you want to give a first touchdown bet too? Do you have any bets you like, or any bets? It doesn't have to be first touchdown.
I'm going to go back to Old Faithful here. It let me down last time. I forget who I took. They only scored 1. Oh, Devontae. I was on Thursday. Devontae only got 1 though. Garrett Wilson got 2. Devontae got 1, and Devontae's was we didn't talk about it after that night. Went good for me, but this dude went to the tent, went to the locker room. They took his helmet, and he came back and nuked with a touchdown after the concussion.
How many guys do you know, they actually like take the helmet, they go into the tent, and then they go bring him back to the locker room, and then they come back out into the game? Like, I for sure thought he was done when that happened. I was like, oh, he's done. Like, he's not coming back. That was crazy. But
so I'm going back to the well tonight though. Travis Kelce, 2 touchdowns, plus 650. That's actually not even that high of a price because he's going to get it. Plus 650. Love that. And I could give a different play as my like play, but he's my favorite. And honestly, I don't really have another guy that is sneaky. So I'm just saying Travis Kelce. I always give low on guys.
That's it. Listen, Noah Gray, 49-1, 45-1, wherever you see it, 2 touchdowns just to own Travis Kelce.
That's how you own me. Go right.
That's how you do it right there. We're going in right now. Noah Gray, baby.
What happens when there's 4 and they both get 2?
Then I'm going to be pissed that I didn't parlay them both together. That's what's going to happen.
Astronomical odds. What's the odds on that?
Let's see.
Put them both. It's got to be massive.
Oh my God.
I might have to put like $10 on it.
$10 will win you 4,200.
Yeah, I'm putting $10 on that puppy just for fun.
That is an ultimate like $5-10 bet right there. That is the $5 to $10 bet for sure.
I might even put only 5 on that one, but for 2K, that's a.
Now I wonder, what do you think Pat Mahomes 4 touchdowns is?
The more you start like putting them together, though, they're going to lower you for correlation. But
no, I'm not talking about correlating. What do you think the odds are for him to score 4 touchdowns?
4? I don't know, 10-1, 12.
It's 11-1 right now. When I looked this morning, it was 13-1. I'm mad I didn't get it this morning.
If you put them together, though, so 2 touchdowns. Where is the 2 touchdowns in the single games?
I'm just looking. You don't have to go single. You can literally.
I just wanted to see, though. I wanted to see, like, you do Kelce.
So it doesn't move the odds that much. It moves it a little bit. 4,700 for $10.
Give you a little extra, though. That's still a little extra that you did, because I guess in theory, like the backup could come in or something and throw it, but
or like Travis Kelce somehow gets a rushing touchdown. He like takes the snap and runs it in from the 1.
Yeah,
like,
you're right. So
Andy Reid does. Andy Reid does weird shit like that.
And
like,
if it only goes up that much, it doesn't make sense to put
No.
it in there.
No, but I wonder if like you do Noah Gray for 2 and
Yeah.
Worthy. That's when it goes
Yeah.
up at that's a beast right there, Tony. That's $10 to win 15K. Now we're fucking talking
for
here.
good reason too.
I'm just saying though. Now we're talking right now. That's my language right there. You talk
Any
about
bets
that.
like this, in theory, it's just like fantasy. You should put some sort of Tampa Bay action in there because they're not going to just keep passing if Tampa Bay's not scoring.
You know what's funny though, dude? So I always do that when I do these things. I'll always like throw the side that I'm like yesterday, right? If you bet like Jalen Naylor, Jordan Addison, Josh Oliver to score a touchdown, in your head, you're like, oh, these guys are scoring touchdowns. Well, I should be betting the Colt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then the Colts defense scores, and no one's betting the Colts fucking defense to score. And then they don't score another point. And you're sitting there going, oh, wow, all my guys scored touchdowns except for my Colts, the side I didn't like. So
And
I agree with
Joe
you. And
Flacco was absolutely horrendous.
so you know what's weird about that game is the first drive of the game, they started off, they look good.
Yeah.
And I know it's just the first drive, but I was just like, oh
I
wow,
thought
they
they
look
were going
good.
to keep moving it too. I mean, that was so bad. He had
So
5
foolish.
fantasy points. Yeah.
No, he was bad. No, he was definitely bad. So, all right, Tony, you want to give your favorite DFS plan? We'll get out of here, or is it just Travis Kelce?
Yeah, I'm just going Kelce today. The one dude can get mad at me again for being too chalky. That's fine. I'm on.
Chalky.
I'll have the rest of my takes up on the website. Whoever wants the more.
Bam. If you want more takes, RPS 15% off. Hit the damn like button on the video for the Travis Kelce and the Noah Gray show here. 2 tight ends, 2 touchdowns each. Let's get it into the box here. 4 tight ends, 4 passing touchdowns for Mahomes. Please, God, we need it for best ball. If not the 2 tight ends, then Xavier Worthy, you can catch 2, and I'll be okay with that as well. All right, that's going to do it, though, for this show, guys. We'll see you on Thursday. Good luck in your contest for Big T and myself, JSU. Let's all run pure and hopefully ship some money tonight. We're out of here.